Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Spike. I'm Brian the Grizzly here with Martin. We got Alec here. I think we're going to have Mark come jumping in a little later. But guys, it's the draft is over. The weekend is over. We now know how the teams are going to look as far as rookies go. And I guess it's time for us to talk about what we saw. What were your first initial thoughts on the draft? Martin, you go first and then we'll go down to Alec.
What?
What was your thoughts? Yeah,
that's exactly how I thought. That's exactly how I thought. It was a big what? Like, what is going on? What happened? Everything. Look, every year this happens. It's like you have one or two teams that throw the whole thing off, and that's exactly what happened. Once again, and I felt like teams were like, "Dang." Everything they just planned on what the other teams thought they were going to do just switched how they were approaching things. And it was like a big what? Like, okay, I guess.
We're talking to you, Arizona. We're talking to you. What the fuck are you doing? What about you, Alec?
Well, for me, it definitely started out really freaking weird, you know? It made a bunch of teams scramble. I think it was really the first, picks 3, 4, and 5. Everyone was like, okay, well, let's just throw out our boards, throw out all the projections, all the mocks. It doesn't matter no more. Let's just see what happens, you know? But there are some interesting picks that were made, I think, for day 1 and 2, and some fun ones on day 3. So I think all in all, this is what you expect from an NFL draft. Never to get the mock drafts 100% right. Few teams that you're like, you know what, makes sense why they're in poverty. You know, they just cannot get it right. So that's what I think of it.
Okay. What up, Anzo? Appreciate you, brother. I agree. I look at the draft, and I mean, it started off fine, and I wasn't upset with David Bailey going number 2. I thought that was actually a decent pick. Then when Jeremiah Love went 3, I was like, okay, this is kind of crazy. And then when Carnell Tate went number 4, I was like, okay, what the hell are we doing? And then the Giants go to Arvell Reese. I'm like, what the is happening? What are we doing?
Yeah,
love it. I love it.
And then the Chiefs trade up to 6 to take the same guy they could have got at 9.
Yes.
What?
Mm-hmm. That's what they really wanted that guy. I don't know what they were thinking. I thought it was weird when they did that. The Chiefs really wanted him apparently. And the Browns were like, yeah, okay, we're not really going that far back. So
they got the same guy they wanted and got 2, 3 third round picks.
Exactly. So hey, listen, if the Browns probably still I feel like Browns actually did a smart move with that. For the Chiefs, they that was unnecessary for them. Delaney's good, don't get me wrong, but it was, and it's a necessary pick for them because they get burned all the time.
They got antsy, but look who's in front of you. No one was going to take Delane.
No. Nobody was interested in him, and that's all right, like whatever. So that's why the Browns are like, oh, okay, all right, oh, sure, go ahead.
I mean, as we go down, you look, Washington getting Sonny Styles was perfect for them.
I
Washington,
like that.
That's perfect, right? I mean, come on. We all look that. I mean, I had to give Mark $25 because I was like, there's no way in hell Sonny Styles is going to fucking fall for you. And I had to give him $25 because it did. So I'm a man of my word. I did it.
What's crazy is Sonny Styles is going to be under Bobby Wagner for at least a whole season. And Bobby Wagner is one of the best in the league. There is something that Bobby's going to teach him this entire year, and they're both going to be on the field, and I really hope that Sonny stays there and becomes the new face of that franchise for a while, for many years. I hope he never leaves. I really hope he stays there for 10 plus years.
The comp for Sonny Styles is Brian Urlacher.
Yes. Yes.
Dude, that you stay with that team, you become part of the city. Washington just got a stud, and they didn't have to do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, he just fell right in their laps because he probably could have maybe gone, I don't know.
He should have went 5. The Giants should have grabbed Sonny Styles. That's who should have. Arvell Reese. I was like, what?
Well, Arvell can probably play a little bit of both. Though.
He's gonna have to play it out weak side linebacker. He's gonna have to.
Yeah.
Okay. Then Jordan Tyson for the Saints. I think we all mocked that pretty well. I think that was something I told you that was going to happen. Then the Browns wanted Spencer Fano and got Spencer Fano 3 spots later and got 2 third round picks.
Yeah. Perfect. I mean, I like what they did. I think the Browns did pretty good then.
But my shocker is this: that the Giants got Francis Malgoa, so they drafted a tackle. So as mad as that was for the first pick, they drafted a tackle. I was like, you actually looked at the offensive line and said we might need to help them. Great job. I'm so proud the Giants are growing up. They can finally draft offensive tackle. Thank God.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the other way around. I'm like, I thought it was a good pick because
this is it.
We've been bitching about that for years. Like, why haven't they've done it yet? And yeah, I thought you were going to go the other opposite side of why they did it. I'm like,
no, I thought this was a great pick. I was like, this is the best one. Good job.
Yeah, for many years.
And because I was afraid that they were going to go Caleb Downs, which is a good pick. But what's going to help that team long term? That long term, you need offensive line help, and I thought that was great. But Caleb Downs going to the Cowboys. I actually think we talked about that, and I said, hey, they're there. You're like, oh, I think that would be a terrible pick. And I was like, I think they're going to go there. They need secondary help. What did you think about that pick?
Well, okay, so I like I said, I liked it, but I was seeing a couple of videos. The Giants fan base are so used to not getting a tackle. It is very sad. There was a few videos that they were upset that they traded, and they didn't get him, and they didn't get Caleb Downs. A lot of them wanted Caleb Downs instead. They drafted Francis Malago, and I was like, actually, that's probably good. But I don't know. It just they're so used to not getting a necessity rather than a want. And I feel like they got a want and a necessity.
Yep.
Because Arvell Reese, okay, like I said, we talked about it. We're like, I don't think they needed it, but he is probably the best that they're gonna get. Like,
they're gonna have to trade some
Ruben
of these
Bain, but say what?
They're gonna have to trade one of these defensive ends.
Yeah,
Kayvon Thibodeau has to go.
But
and I'm hearing Brian Burns is on the trade block.
Well, they only signed him for what, 2-3 years. So I think his contract is coming up.
So I think they have 2 years. It's $40 million for the next 2 years each. So he's $80 million overall for next. And they're trying to get from under that $40 million. And there's teams calling about Brian Burns.
Well, then they'll have Arvell and who they drafted last year. That they'll just base.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What was his name? I forgot.
Abdul Carter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you. So technically they're set for the next couple of years without having to talk about negotiations with the other two. They could probably let them walk or trade them.
Trade those guys and get picks for 2027. And that was the other thing I've heard, that the Giants did not want 2026 draft picks. They had enough for 2026. They wanted 2027 draft picks.
Yeah, so that opens up the door for them. So I think it outside of what Giants people might think and say about the pick, it's not like you are getting one of the best athlete in this entire draft.
He's the best. He's the best athlete in the class.
And I don't think they realize who they have. Like, just saying. Anyways, going on. Too much about the Giants. Let's go.
No, well, I want to hear what Alex has about the Giants and the Cowboys with them back to back.
Well, I think that the Giants made the correct pick in 10, a head scratcher at 5, unless they turn around and do trade one of those guys, especially if they trade Burns, because Burns you could get a lot more for, I think, given how elite and efficient he has been in the last few years. So for that, I think that you're setting yourself up for the future to get future draft picks for 2027. That I would be more than fine with. Then this pick doesn't seem so questionable at number 5, but 10 makes sense. Kind of reminds me of the days of the Seattle Seahawks where they just don't like to invest in an O-line to save their life, so it's nice to see that they're actually doing something. I think everything that they've done this offseason and the draft, outside of Matt Nagy being hired, has been pretty good. So As far as Cowboys go, I think it makes sense that they go Downs there. I know Jerry mentioned wanting Ruben Bain, but he plays in the 4-3, and they're a 3-4 defense, so that didn't make much sense. So I think it totally makes sense that Downs would go to the Cowboys because they need secondary help. They definitely need that and D-line, which they end up getting D-line later on in the draft anyways. So they did pretty good, I would say, for themselves, which is kind of weird to say for a division rival, but yeah.
It is what it is. All right. So now we got Caden Proctor going to the Dolphins out of Alabama. Another pick I love.
That's a good pick.
Yeah. Take a guy whose top end could be the best tackle in the draft.
Right.
And it takes time.
It basically develops the line for now because you don't want to bring in anybody QB wise. Like Willis is probably a good bridge quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to say, but he's probably a good bridge quarterback for next couple of years. And then once these QBs actually are good, then you bring him in.
What's up? Thanks for coming to the show.
So
appreciate you.
But yeah, I felt like every single time I looked over to the TV, the Dolphins were up on the draft. They had
you're right.
Picks, 13 picks, at least 2 in each round. Like it was just every single time I looked over. Oh, the Dolphins are up again. All right.
They reinvented their team.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So we got that, and then we went to the Rams. I wanted to get to this point. That's why we were going through the draft because I wanted to get to the Rams, who got Ty Simpson at pick 13. Why?
I can probably answer that in the best way possible. Think about it like this. If Matthew Stafford's there for 1, at most 2 more years in a McVay system, that's what this guy needs. A year or 2 behind a really skilled vet, behind one of the best coaches in the NFL, and to learn a system where it's already got a stacked offense. He will do terrific there if they don't have to start him right away. So, plus it's the Rams. When are they ever going to have a first-round pick again anyways? Like, come on. They're allergic to them. So might as well get the guy,
The thing is though, because it was a first-round pick. All right. Nobody besides over the – all right, so the 20th pick and before, those first 20 picks were no one's going to grab it. They could have traded back to at least 20 to like Eagles or something like that. I don't think they needed to take them at 13. They could have traded back like 7 picks, okay? Grabbed more picks later because I don't think they had a whole ton. Like I don't think they had
5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Nobody was gonna grab him. He still would have been there. And rumors is when he got drafted, nobody was excited about him because Sean McVay was too busy dealing with his crybaby quarterback who's an MVP who is probably going to have the starting job until he retires. So why is he crying? Why are you crying? You shouldn't be crying because Ty Simpson is not going to start over you.
I don't think that's what it was. I think it was what it was.
From what I heard, day 2. That's
that he was upset, but he was upset not about Ty Simpson, upset that they didn't get a better player.
Hold on, that's where I'm going with it because he they should have done that. They should have gotten a better player or traded back.
Yep.
Ty Simpson could have been there still probably later in the rounds, but also the thing is it's not really ultimately like going to hurt them in the long run. Like Ty Simpson probably should have went to the Steelers.
Yeah,
or the
Steelers would have the Steelers or Cardinals would have gotten them. That's no
why
question.
I say pick 20. You couldn't have gone past that. But very early, I don't necessarily think they could have went there. Honestly, they probably could have went like anything else besides. Let's be honest. I don't know.
I think that if you would have traded back to 19 or 20 and then grab Ty Simpson and then you tell him, hey, Stafford, we're going to build you. We don't have a lot of other draft picks, but we went and got you another 3rd. So now we have a 2nd and 2 thirds, and we're going to build the offensive line up a little bit. When we get a little younger off the line, we're going to bring you a tight end. We're going to help these things because the defense is already ready to go. We already got our cornerbacks from Kansas City Chiefs. we're ready to go on defense. We're going to give you more help in the second and third round. If that's what they would have told him, right? Because you probably would have got a third and a fourth to trade backwards to do that.
And Blake Miller or Freeling probably still would have been there.
Yep.
Or Kenyon Sadiq. Like those guys, one of those three guys would have still been there. I think, and this is the first time like they've ever had a first round draft pick. Maybe they're like, oh crap. It's like they didn't know what to do with this. So they're like, they just drafted what they thought they needed. So this is the first time ever we have a first round draft pick. I don't know. What do you want to do with it? I don't know. Let's just get Ty Simpson. All right, cool. Send it.
Exactly
they were scared, man. They were terrified. They're not used to this.
They're not used to showing up to the building day one. They normally like have the day off. That's it.
They looked at their board and it's like, oh, this is the guy we want, but you can get him 5-7 picks later. But this is the guy we want, but you can get him later.
I bet the whole staff was ready to take the day off day one, and then somebody has said, hey, you guys know we have a first-round draft pick, right? So they all rushed in their cars last minute and probably, dang, what do we do? I don't know. We got 2 minutes on the clock. Let's just get Ty Simpson. I don't know. It was very interesting, very weird. There was not a lot of thought behind it from what I feel like, but it is what it is. Ty Simpson is going to be there learning behind Matthew Stafford, and we don't even know if he's actually going to be good or not.
We don't, but behind Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay's system, if he's a smart quarterback, then I feel like it's a fine pick. You just have to make sure you're building the rest of your team.
Yeah.
So Kadani says everyone wanted to go to counseling like Mike Vrabel. The entire draft staff just wanted to go counseling. Oh, man. That whole Mike Vrabel thing is a whole Diana Rossini thing. That's a crazy thing. That's a crazy thing.
I don't even want to address it, to be honest. Like, I don't want to talk about garbage, man.
Dude, that was nuts. I will say this. So now the Ravens did exactly what I thought was going to happen. I mocked it in every single mock draft. He's the best guard. He's the best guard in the entire draft. Not question. He's pro ready. He immediately helps you. If you're going to have a quarterback that can't drop back 3 steps without getting pressure in his face, you better solidify what's going on there.
Yeah. No, I like this pick 100%. I don't even want to talk about it more because of how much I like it, and it's perfect fit for them.
It's the perfect pick. I agree. Then we got Ruben Bain Jr. going to the out Miami, going to Tampa Bay. Once again,
I love this pick.
Great pick.
I love this pick. From the moment his name got called, that dude has such a dog hatred in him that he didn't even stop at the mirror. He grabbed his hat like nothing, threw it on.
He was ready to go to work.
Oh, he is ready, and I cannot wait to see what he does. Now, as a Falcons fan, I'm gonna hate that man two weeks of the year, but damn, oh man, I was excited, and I was surprised. Like, I was like, yeah, Ruben Banks should have been higher, but really small arms. Like, look at what he's done on film. Like, you really gonna let this look? It's like the whole situation when Hutchinson got second overall pick, or what was it? Like that year. I don't even know what year it was, but who got drafted over him? Walker? Stupid. Yeah. So stupid. Like, Ruben Bain is probably the best edge here. I don't care what you say. Whatever.
I like it. I thought it was a smart move, and I thought Ruben Bain. I mean, it's from the U, so I like talking on this pick because I mean he really knows him and likes him, and Tampa Bay is a great place to go.
Yeah, it's perfect. Plus, you can already see that when he becomes a superstar there, all of Tampa, like, you remember how when Tom Brady was there, they called it Tampa Bay? Well, now it's literally called Tampa Bain, all right? So it's going to be fun to watch him there.
Oh, 100%. He's going to be a monster. I'm excited for him.
They said on TV that nobody with short arms has ever recorded 10-plus sack season when they were taken in the first round.
Okay. I mean, that's valid, but at the same time, I think this guy can be some special, and he's in a perfect spot for him to be special. So let's just see what he can do. All right. I saw it at the U, so he can do it.
Okay. I always wonder, how long are Aaron Donald's arms?
Oh, I don't even know.
His weren't that big, too. I remember him. They were saying shit about him. His weren't.
Yep. He was too small. all that stuff. So that's why he was at 32.63. So it's not the longest arms either. So that's why I'm like, there's guys that can play that do well with not these unbelievable stats that jump off the screen. Is it Villa will make up for the short arms because you got double team Villa, and then Ruben Bay Jr. You can't do it. He has that bend. He gets on you guys. He's recorded the sacks. He's done it year after year after year. I like the pick. I think September Bay did a great job, and getting him at 15 is a win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next couple of months are pretty good. Kenyon Sadiq going number 16. I like it. What do you guys think about it?
I don't really think they need to trade it for him, though.
No, that's the only thing. Yeah, I agree.
Like I think he still would have been there. Like, how far did they trade up for this pick? I remember they traded for it. I just don't. It wasn't that far, right? Like
it was like 5 picks.
Yeah. Some of the mindset of these draft rooms are very interesting. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, I think he would have still been there. Maybe they were thinking that Panthers were going to take him because I don't know, but it is what it is.
The Jets are going to jet. My question is,
yeah,
jet out of here real quick.
Didn't you just get a tight end, in Mason Taylor, who had a pretty good rookie year?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're scheming something with double tight. I don't know.
I guess maybe
I
that's
can't
what
say
you're doing.
much about the Jets, man. Like the Jets.
I look, Mekhi Lemon shit was right there. Like you could have stayed there. You could have got either one of them who fell to you.
Yeah.
That's just I didn't understand it. So yeah.
I mean, from a fantasy perspective, I knew a lot of people in the industry were actually projecting him to go to the Jets just because they would probably use him differently than they would use Mason. But it also is good for Breece Hall. So, like you said, the Jets. Yeah, but like I said, the Jets are going to jet. There's a reason why they have not been a good team for so long. So they'll have to figure something out.
Anthony says, I noticed some of the trades in round 1 and round 2 didn't make sense. You didn't have to trade up 1 or 2 spots. The guy would have fell to you anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Saw it multiple times.
What's up, Andrew?
Yep, we especially said it with the Cowboys when I was like, watch, they're probably gonna do something stupid and trade up, and it's gonna make no sense, and they did it anyways. Yeah, so it's whatever.
It's. I don't want to put the Jets in this area of stupidity, but this was one of them. I don't really per se the Jets are stupid when drafting because they normally are good and smart. They do it so often. Yeah, but the problem is like, no, because the last 2 years their draft was pretty good.
No, they draft a lot.
Hold the players there, or it's just I don't know what it is. Could be the atmosphere, something in the water. I don't know, but I don't put them with the Raiders and the Cowboys just yet. With how dumb their draft is.
Hey, the Raiders had a great draft, bro.
Right, and usually, and sometimes I don't know. Like I feel like I don't know. They could have just waited, like I said. Like they could.
Yeah. If they waited, it would have been better, I think. But it didn't matter. They got the guy they want. That works. I mean, I'm in Chicago, and we had Cole Kmet and went and got Colston Loveland, and they drafted another tight end this year. I don't know. Maybe tight ends are just a special thing.
Well, and then the tight ends nowadays aren't as like heavy blockers anymore. They're almost used as these athletic receivers now. They're just taller receivers. So
inline wide, but then you have that split in that could play, either position the Z2. Because I mean, it works.
Right. So maybe that's what they're probably add to like what they want to do with Sadiq, and he could do it because the dude's 6'3", 240, 250, something like that.
Sadiq is a freaking wide receiver.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. He could put him in the tight end slot, the tight end. Give them slot routes.
Yeah. Right, so. Agreed. All right. So now we go to Alliance with Blake Miller. Offensive tackle. I thought Monroe Freeland would have been better, but they decide they're going to Blake Miller. Why are we going to talk about this? It's because they're moving Penei Sewell to left tackle. Mm-hmm. That's the interesting part. Not the pick, because I think Blake Miller is going to be a good, solid right tackle. Fine. You're moving Penei Sewell, who is the best right tackle in the game, to left tackle. which is kind of scary.
Yeah. I'm not hating this pick either. Because I know when we were doing our mock draft, I kind of said they needed a no line, and still they went after a no line. So I'm kind of glad I was right on that. The O-line there, it's good, but I don't think they have enough depth.
No, they needed another left tackle or someone to do that. But moving Penei Sewell is just the only problem. But Blake Miller is going to be a good right tackle. The Lions' offensive line is still going to be good.
Oh yeah, I mean, and plus that offense moves. That's only going to increase their movement. Like that offense moves down the field. It's their defense that still needs to be worked on.
Yeah, 100%. Kadani says maybe Sean McVay's 3 tight end offense inspired a lot of coaches because they were having success in 13 personnel. It moves around. You can move one to an F. You can move one out, split in. You can have one inline Y. So I can see it. I can understand that. And then Anthony says, talking about 3 tight ends, what are we, the Bills?
No, I don't even want to talk about the LA Rams and their stupid tight ends. I hate them all. I hate every single one.
Ouch.
I do. They're stupid. Like they all suck, and they're no. I don't care.
All right. So now we go to the Minnesota, who got Caleb Banks from Florida at 18. That's a huge reach. It's a huge reach.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, like 17 slots reach. I mean, Caleb Banks is ranked as a 38th best player. 35th was the draft position, and they got him at 18.
Yeah, they could have went after like Peter Woods or something.
Exactly. So I thought that was interesting. Then we go to Carolina with Monroe Freeling. I thought they were going to go with more pieces. I really like this pick. I think Freeling, I thought is the better left tackle. If you want someone to play left tackle, he's the one that you want going to left tackle. So out of Georgia, this works. He's played against top competition. He didn't give up a sack last year. It's a good pick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, and now we get to the Eagles. So that's why
I
didn't talk to Alex. That's why I didn't talk to him.
Hey, you ready for the show tomorrow? You ready to go on the show tomorrow? Yeah, you good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, hey, you know what? Brian's actually starting right now. Sorry, man. I'm gonna go jump on the show right now. And tomorrow we're just not gonna do it. Okay. All right. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
That's exactly what just happened.
Sounds good. Yeah.
That's exactly what just happened. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, he's gonna be a Steeler or something. But no, they traded up. It was crazy to see like live on TV too. Weird. His agent was blocking the TV.
I want to see the Steelers draft room. I have not seen their reaction yet. I just want to see what they were thinking. Like, yeah, we're gonna get Lemon, and then all right, flip. Well, okay, tackle. Yes, tackle. Good idea. But that's for the Eagles. Yeah, no. Clearly, they moved up and they wanted this guy who was, he was rated as the top wide receiver because he won the award, obviously, for last year. 13 total TDs, almost 1,200 yards. Very nice for a slot receiver guy. Great pick for them to jump in front. And it makes sense, though, at the same time, because there's no way that they would trade with a division rival. Why would they do that? It makes no sense. But they did it. And then that's how they got Malachi Lemon. And so, or Mekhi Lemon, excuse me.
Mekhi Lemon.
Yeah, I keep doing
it. Was just very interesting seeing that. And then, like,
I love it. And in Pittsburgh, too.
In Pittsburgh, too.
In Pittsburgh, too. I love it. Yeah.
That was fun. And Pittsburgh, they were able to kind of just say, all right, what do we need? We need the offensive tackle help anyway. So they kind of just pivoted and got Ian Naker. Max was good. Max was a good pick, and I think they did a good job adjusting quickly.
Yeah, no, that's going to be a very good pick for them.
They needed it more. They probably didn't limit, honestly.
Probably, especially when you kind of don't know the situation. Everyone's still saying Rodgers is kind of going to be the thing, but we might see Mason Rudolph, or I don't know who the hell. But regardless,
I think they drafted a guy too. So I mean,
yeah. So we'll see. Max is a good pick, though. I'm not hating. I like it.
I do. I agree. All right. So now we go down. We got King Mesidor going to the Chargers, which was on everyone's bingo card. Everyone had that pick already going. So I'm not even going to talk about it because we all knew that was happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we go to Dallas. We got Malachi Lawrence, edge rusher at UCF. This is actually interesting to me. I think they got a very athletic guy, and I think this is going to be a good pick going forward for them. Worth everything, worth trading up for it.
Yep.
No, absolutely. I think with this, it brings what they lost basically. He's no Micah Parsons or anything, but
what's Micah Parsons? Micah Parsons, when he first was drafted there, we didn't know exactly what he was.
Well, Micah Parsons was supposed to be a linebacker until they got and then Dan Quinn was like, you know what, man, you're better at edge. Let's
try this.
and he flourished there. So let's see what he does. Basically, they're just replacing Lawrence with Lawrence.
Exactly, I agree. That's exactly that. Perfect words. All right, now we go to the Browns. Take the Browns to the Super Bowl. Casey Concepcion. Who called this? This man did. I gotta get to
it. But again, I like it, but I don't like it.
I don't like it.
I like it because this now opens up the window for him to be the number one, right?
Yep.
But the problem is Deshaun Watson, like it's probably
who's the quarterback? What are you doing?
I think it's gonna be Deshaun. If I don't even see, it's even hard to say who it might be.
Because it could be Shador. It literally could be Shador.
It should be Shador.
Or it could be what was the other kid's name?
Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But either way, like if for dynasty purposes, would you get him higher than pick 8?
Nope.
Okay.
Like, I mean, just plain and simple, I would not.
Pick 10.
At the end of the first round, I'm thinking about him.
Okay.
But he might, for me, off my board, and I was thinking about this earlier, he might end up being the first and the second round now.
So for
especially because it's IDP, because it's in the IDP draft. I'm looking at all these edge rushers and where they're fitting in and how they're going to change those teams. It's hard for me to look at Casey Concepcion within that offense, knowing we don't know who the quarterback is and how they're going to even run the damn offense. That this is going to be good.
Now, I'm going to remind you of a receiver who did good with no quarterbacks and he still was productive.
100%. Yeah.
So this guy can, for me, I would get him no sooner than 8th pick, but no later than 12th. And I don't think I would let him go slide to the second for me if I needed receiver. Concepcion is going to be the next 2 or 3 years DJ Moore. Because
it's funny you saying that, because that's how I have Omar Cooper Jr. as DJ Moore. The way he plays is the same thing.
He's going to be productive and he's going to get you the yards and like the touchdowns maybe, but he's not going to be like terrible because in the position he is and how good he is. So again,
do you worry about running back
for the Browns?
Yeah, because running back, because they're so good at running back that they run the ball more than they pass the ball. Especially with not knowing who that quarterback's going to be.
No. Why? Why would I do that? I think it just opens it up more because now they have a change of pace. They have options now. This is the first time that the Browns aren't heavy on one thing. They have now options.
They got tight end. They got a couple receivers. They got running back. They just don't have. We don't know what the quarterback is, but
the Browns have not been like this in a while. So I'm not saying they're going to be good. Are they going to be better than next year? Hopefully, if Myles Garrett can do Myles Garrett things next year again, and the defense can show up, I think the offense can give maybe 1 or 2 more wins.
Okay, I like it. All right, Anthony says, so in the room, are the rumors true? Does that mean AJ Brown is gone? AJ Brown is gone. AJ Brown post June 1st is traded, and this it's on everyone knows it.
If he is not gone, then all that means is that the Eagles would then have like the best trio of wide receivers at that point. But he's most likely gone after post June 1st. But we'll see.
Yeah, because June 1st is the deadline for those who don't know. It's June 1st is going to be the deadline for restricted free agents and who received qualified the right to refused anything like that. So that they have the free agent tender, which is they're calling it the June 1st tender. Anything from here on now, they can negotiate. Like obviously, the rookies are probably going to show up for the next couple. I think next week or so.
Yep, that'll be next week. Next couple of weeks.
Like rookie minicamp only, and then they'll see how Makai Lemon. Like all right, God forbid, and I'm not putting this out there, so I'm gonna knock on wood. If Makai Lemon goes out there next week and messes his shit up, like then that
he's not going anywhere. Then he stays.
Oh yeah, hopefully they don't do anything crazy and they do like 1 or 2 routes and like, all right, man, this kid's the thing. But you know what I mean? So yeah, like June 1st would be the deadline for them to actually make that call.
So we'll see what happens. So if it doesn't happen, then you'll know. Then you know your answer. But like I said, I'm optimistic. Like Brian knows that I don't know if he's really getting traded. But if he does get traded, it would have to be right there and then. Because otherwise we're like, what are y'all doing?
Well,
are you trading or not?
You look at New England Patriots draft, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they really didn't go for a wide receiver, though they need wide receiver help, right?
So that's why
there's another red flag. Like, this is happening. This trade is happening for AJ Brown. They're trying to get offensive tackle with edge rusher, the tight ends, cornerbacks. They're fixing the offensive line. They're doing all these things so they can throw the ball. So it only makes sense for them to now go get the wide receiver AJ Brown. It's almost like it's already done. They know what's going on. All right.
So
we got DM Niels. What's up? Bear down, baby. Always.
Hold on. So hold on, Brian. Hold on. Neil is actually one of my classmates out here in our course. So I talked about you, and I talked how you guys and your hatred for the Packers and stuff. And he's like, you know what? It's absolutely right. Like it was exactly talking to you right there in front of me. Like the hatred. And you know what's funny? I'm like, well, what about like the Lions and the Vikings? He's like, they're all right, but we still hate them.
Exactly.
But anything green and yellow, like, no, absolutely not. Like he was saying, if anybody in our class was a Green Bay Packers fan, he's like, I would hate them the moment I see them, and I won't even talk to them the rest of the entire time we were out here. So
100%.
That is.
I can never have a friend who's a Packer fan. No, we can't. No.
But yeah, he's actually. Correct me if I'm wrong, Neil, but you are from like the heart of Chicago, correct?
Hey, that's where I am, man. This is it.
Yeah, so that's where Brian's at. So.
I run all the Culvers out here. So.
There you go.
Speaking of this is a perfect time for him to be here right now because the next pick is Dylan Thieneman going to the Bears from Oregon to safety. I love this pick. I have no problem at all. So, if you're looking at it, if you don't go defensive tackle, go safety. No problem. Cool.
Yeah. Well, that's what you basically needed, though.
We need defensive tackles and safeties.
Not bad. I know we were talking about it too. Like you were like, I don't know about it. I'm like, no, Thieneman's a good pick. Like, he's gonna probably be a really good safety there for you guys. That white boy can do all kinds of things.
My question is for him is he going to play strong safety?
Yes.
Because I've seen him get sacks, get interceptions. He plays pretty good against tight ends. So that's one thing I was surprised about. He played pretty good against tight ends, and he's a lot more athletic than I thought he was going to be. I look at it. I think you do it. Yeah,
he reminds me of a linebacker, just a fast.
Yeah, a little bit. He got that hybrid mentality in him that'd be great. Plus, not mentioning some of the best parts, the fact that he had one of the best freshman seasons out of any safety like ever. I mean, dude also had over 300 tackles in just 3 years in college. I mean, you're talking about a guy who can literally play in the box, play deep, play nickel. He can do it all. Again, I think outside of Downs, he's second best safety. In my opinion. I look at him IDP. I feel like he could be better than Downs with the way that they would use him. From an IDP perspective, he's gonna get sacks. They're going to play him like they played, like they did last year, with your blitzing their safeties. Especially when you have Kyler Gordon back there, who can now play safety /
hybrid, with your slot corner. He can do all things like that. So now you have two guys that can do interchangeable things. That really makes the defense even better. And you're able to put a lot more pressure on quarterbacks in so many different ways. So I have no problem with this pick. I thought that was good. The rest of the draft, I have no idea what the hell we're doing. But this pick, great job.
Only time will tell. Okay.
No, you don't go the third best center in the draft in your second pick. You don't do that. And then trade away your next one. That'll be Tuesday when I'm yelling about that. So I'm not even going to worry about that. We need to go on to the Texans. Kalen Rutledge going offensive guard from out of Georgia Tech, going to the Texans. They need offensive guard help, and I think this is a good pick.
Yeah.
He's the second best guard. He was the second best guard in this draft.
Yeah, so I mean,
it's better. It's what they kind of need.
Yeah, it is what they need.
Yeah, it's something they needed. I mean, again, it's not anything like flash or anything like that, but Rutledge is pretty good. He's going to be pretty good. Which was surprising though. What for this pick is when they traded, like,
because all these are trades. These next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks are all trades.
Yeah,
all of them.
It is what it is. Buffalo did what they did, and they got better, I guess. I don't know.
Buffalo needed more picks, and I think that's what they decided. They said we need more picks going through. And when I looked at the Buffalo Bills draft, I didn't hate it. I think they did okay. TJ Parker is a good pick. So getting TJ Parker in the second round, if you might even draft him right here, but you got some extra picks. I think it's okay to trade out of that. Then Miami jumps up again, as Martin just said. Miami every pick.
Every time I looked at the TV, Miami was on the board. I was like, dude.
Miami would have got Chris Johnson, was a cornerback out of San Diego State. All the words are saying that he's the most athletic guy. If he would have played against top tier talent, they would have said he would have been a top 3 cornerback. They need cornerback help. We talked about it on our mock drafts.
Mm-hmm.
It works, right?
Yep. Yeah, no, I like this pick for them, and they needed to because they just can't stop anything to save their lives.
Yeah, 100%.
They were just thrown over the top of them, and then Josh Allen definitely is going to be just burning them. Chris Johnson is a very good pick for them.
Sure.
Okay. Now I want to get to the Patriots. The Patriots traded up, and they said Lomu was still there. He's still there, and they traded up and grabbed him.
Well, he should have been hold on. When we were doing our mock draft not last week, for some reason we were having him in the second. I thought he was a lot better, but I was the only one who was high on him, which was surprising. I thought he should have been gone, probably in the middle of the first. But I like him a lot.
Freeling is better than him.
Early 20s.
I don't think Max is better than him. I think he's better than Max, and that's where if he went to 20, that would be fine. But it is what it is. It's good for the Patriots because they fixed their mistake from last year.
Yeah.
I told you, good player. When you drafting guys, you have to look at things, traits. In the NFL, you can't play offensive tackle, left tackle, and have short arms.
Right.
You just can't. So they readjusted. They said, okay, let me get a guy with a little bit more of a natural tackle. So now I could put people in the right place. This line is going to be much better this year because of what they did in this draft.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now we go down. Kansas City Chiefs traded up for Peter Woods. Are you guys surprised, or is this the bye to Chris Jones?
Chris Jones should have been gone a long time ago.
No. I don't know about a long time ago.
No, they could have traded Chris Jones a long time ago for some picks.
You could have got 2 first rounds for Chris Jones too.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. But at the time, they were still trying to win, chips. So I get it.
2 years
ago,
they
still are trying to win chips.
No. They could have done this a long time ago, got rid of him, and still had 2 first round picks and probably been a lot better team. And they probably wouldn't be in the situation.
Definitely would have better cap. Definitely would have better cap.
And now look at him. Now they got Peter Woods there. Clemson. I think he's going to do exactly what Chris Jones is doing. And Now
they're not going to give him two rounds anymore, though. Not 2 first-round picks anymore.
No, Chris Jones right now is the second round.
Oh yeah,
you get a second and a fifth for Chris Jones right now. You could have got 2 first rounds for him 2 years ago.
They'll get a third. They'll probably get a third. Somebody.
Someone will throw it in there.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I think this is the swan song for Chris Jones. Chris Jones will be on my trading block on my Dynasty team. You already won.
You, my friend, should have traded him way before.
He's been on my trading block for 2 years. Remember, I haven't even played him. I played on my Dynasty team for like 2 years. I traded everyone else. I was like, all right, forget it. But then I get to Omar Cooper for the Jets out of Indiana. I love him. I think he was part of the reason why Indiana did so well was won the national title because of him. He just changed the way the offense went. You can throw the ball to him no matter what, he's going to come down with it. He has great hands. He has good speed. He reminds me of DJ Moore. His size, his aggressiveness, all that is just perfect. He's 6 foot, 200 pounds. This is what he is. So he's a flex wide. He can play X or Z, either one, and you're gonna enjoy seeing him, especially when you're trying to go vertical or against the zone. He's going to kill them. So I like.
Do you think that they could have had Mekhi Lemon and Kenyon Sadiq? If they went Mekhi Lemon first rather than Kenyon Sadiq, do you think Mekhi Lemon would have been
great? Yes.
Like, do you think that Sadiq would have still been there?
It's a possibility, but we'll never know.
I feel like that probably could have been the better pick for them. Get Lemon and then hope that Sadiq was still there. But I mean, I'm not saying Cooper's bad. He's no Mekhi Lemon though. There's a bigger he's the next tier underneath Lemon.
I think Omar Cooper is perfect person. I'm gonna go. What's Kansas City? Their receiver, the one that got in all the trouble. The
Rice.
Yeah, Rasheed Rice. Rasheed Rice. This is what Omar Cooper. He did the exact same stuff that Rasheed Rice did. I think he's gonna come in and be that type of guy. I don't think that doesn't put him as a top 10, top 12 receiver, but he's a guy who's really fast, great hands, could be a very sturdy number 1 receiver going forward. So I have no problem with this. But the problem with the Jets is who the hell's gonna play quarterback?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because Geno's gonna be that guy. How long is Geno gonna be that guy?
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, last year was just a bad year, and he just comes back and he does Seahawks Geno. But the Jets do be doing Jet things, so I doubt it.
And I don't know what it is with the Jets, but it seems like whoever plays quarterback there seems to have always bad luck and does just terrible.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but the Jets are going to jet.
The Jets are going to jet.
I just accepted that. I'm sorry.
All right. Anthony said everybody looks good when you're in shotgun formation 95% of the time, but that doesn't change in the NFL. There's a lot of teams that run only shotgun and pistol.
Yeah,
pistol is great, honestly, as a formation. But yeah.
So okay, I don't know what the hell's going on upstairs. All right, so we go through this. Auburn got Kedrick Falk. Auburn. So you got Kedrick Falk comes from Auburn, gets drafted in the first round. I love Kedrick Falk. I thought this was a great trade up. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it fits for what they need.
What about you?
Tennessee, I feel like they need everything. Like they need a receiver, edge, linebacker. Like they need it all. So the best available
is always the best you do.
Yeah,
I think Kedrick Falk, if he would have been in the second round, people would have been trading up left and right to go grab him, and he would have been the first pick off the board.
They fixed a lot of pieces that they need. So Kendrick Falk, not bad.
Okay, and then the last pick of the first round was Jordan Price.
Yep,
the Seahawks. We every draft mock draft we had Jordan Price going to Seahawks. All right, we just didn't have him going in the first round.
I know. I was the only person that like ever said anything. Hey, they'll probably pick Price over something else that they would need just because it's last pick first round, and Price would definitely fit that role with K9 gone. So
what they said is that they're trying to trade out of it.
Interesting.
They're trying to trade out of it, and I don't know if you
It's
guys
because
noticed
everyone knew what they needed. Everyone knew what they needed.
8 of the last 10 picks were all trades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
honestly,
though, what
this draft.
What I think of what they did here is I knew they were gonna go running back, probably early second or the trade back or something. Give that first to somebody in a second, but I just don't know if he's gonna be able to have the 1, 2, 3 workload until Charbonnet gets back. So because the teardrop list from Jeremiah Love to the next guy
they were on the same team. The top two running backs were on the same team in college. That's crazy.
Kind of like last year with Henderson and Hopkins. Yeah.
This is Ohio State. It's exactly the same thing. And I don't know if you guys saw a lot of Notre Dame games. Jadarian Price would have started on 95% of any other team.
Correct. That's why I think he's really in from a fantasy perspective. I mean, I'm seeing rookie drafts now where he's going top 5 at best or between top 5 to 7 in a lot of rookie drafts.
So, and this is why I was going to bring up with Marty because we talk about a lot of fantasy. I have Jadarian Price already in my top 7. So you're talking about that 8, the Casey Concepcion. The reason why I put I have Jadarian Price in my top 7 right now, and this is IDP draft. Like I'm talking about all guys.
And it's because of the position he's in right now, though.
Exactly.
Because he's going to be the 1-2 back there, regardless of the situation. And Charbonnet's not going to get there till like week 10.
They said maybe week 12, and that means for 12 weeks you have number 1 running back. And if you get that, and if you do well with that, you're the starter. You're the young guy. Yeah, that's just what it is.
Yeah. And it makes sense for the first year, especially when you're coming back from such a big injury. You're going to need not just time to readjust, but you're never going to be 100% after the kind of injury that Sharp had. So, if, however, he doesn't live up to the expectations, to the hype, that's going to hurt him tremendously when Sharp does come back. And then Sharp will be the number 1 back.
Then he's going to end up looking like the Steelers running back from last year when he's going to sit on the bench.
He's going to also look like a Rico Dowdle, like Anthony is saying here.
I think Rico Dowdle is a good comp for him.
Yeah. I mean, not everyone's J.K. Dobbins, so we'll see what happens.
When healthy.
He's healthy.
When he's healthy, you start him, all right? I don't care.
I love it. All right. So that was the first round. We're not going to go through all 7 rounds of the draft, guys. Well, now I was going to ask these two guys, give me your top 4 teams as far as draft. Who had the best draft, top 4 teams? You don't have to go deep analysis, just who were the top ones?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Go ahead, Alec. I actually will let you go first.
Okay.
And then whatever time you leave us left, and then we'll go.
Well, actually, no. I'll start my timer now. There we go. All right, so top 4. I do like what the Browns did a lot, so they're going to be probably one of my highest there. I think they did. I think that the Giants, because I'm expecting them to trade one of those edges. I think, truthfully, that they're going to be up there as a team in the next couple of years to be great. After that, number 3 and 4. I mean, it's kind of hard for me to say, but I also really liked how Tampa did things. I really like a lot of the moves that they did, especially in the early rounds. I'm going to try not to say my team because I know that they did a lot of moving pieces and got a lot of things they needed, so I'm not going to say them just because why. So I guess number 4, I do think that the Patriots got a guy that they believe in. I think the Patriots solved a lot of issues outside of wide receiver because they're playing to get A.J. Brown. So I think if they got A.J. Brown, the rest of their draft makes total sense. So I think they did a great job with that as well. So that would be kind of my top 4 that I would do.
Okay. Martin, what you got?
All right, say what you want to say. Okay. After what Arizona did with the first pick, I know the first pick threw everything off, but the picks after that,
I hate Carson.
Everybody they landed was actually pretty decent enough that piece that they needed. Chase, good. Carson Beck, honestly, last year speaking,
third round.
Going into last year's draft before he opted out, he was supposed to be one of the high top prospects.
Correct.
He was gonna be a second rounder. Yep.
But they took him in the third, and I think that's a perfect spot for them. And then they got Caleb Proctor, which is nice. Like not the tackle, the offense, but the defense. So it was not bad. Overall, I think the Cardinals did okay. The Jeremiah Love one pissed me off. I didn't like it. But the rest of the draft that they had was, I would say fairly decent. And I will talk about my team. I don't care because I don't talk about my team often enough. I do like the fact that we got two brothers in the brotherhood together. Was our draft good?
No.
I don't know. I think we're just feeling it.
Daniels was that bad. Thompson was a bad pick. Ethan wasn't going to get drafted. He was the worst offensive tackle on Ohio State. I was like,
Branch, we needed Branch. I feel like we'll just,
Branch was an A.
Right.
Branch was an A.
And that's what I'm thinking. Like we didn't have a day one, really. So that's kind of like what hurt us from the get-go. Why? Because we traded 2 first-round picks for a loose cannon, basically. After who is his lawyer, by the way? I want to know that lawyer's name because that man got him out of all of that shit. Like, damn, dude, like that's a good lawyer right there. But I don't know. It wasn't like for the 6 picks that we had for the last 2 days. I don't know. It wasn't like.
I mean, Avion Terrell, Zachariah Branch, and even Harold Perkins Jr. were all phenomenal picks. Those 3 are. I guarantee all 3 of those will make the team, and that I wouldn't be surprised if all 3 of those guys start.
Yeah,
that's what I meant.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, I don't know. My next 2 were the Cowboys. They just know how to draft. Really, they were going after people that they needed and players that were good. They had 2 first-round picks with Caleb and Lawrence, which is phenomenal. That's defense. Their defense is really bad, guys. Like it's really bad. Like I don't understand. Like all these, like it just didn't make sense that their defense couldn't keep up with their offense. So if their defense actually gives them a little bit of rest, maybe their offense can do a lot better. Because I think they only picked up 1 or 2 offensive pieces out of their entire draft, and the rest were all defense. 1
line and 1 wide receiver late in the draft.
Yeah, Anthony Smith. I don't even know who the hell that guy is, but
Drew Shelton, that's a good pick. Yeah, that's a good depth piece and a guy who could step in and start if you need it.
So again, I think they did pretty good. And then the other team that I thought was actually did pretty decent was the Broncos. They didn't have a first and they didn't have a second. Okay, so that's very difficult. So you have to wait 2 rounds to start your picks, and they had, everyone before Miles Scott, Justin Jolly, and then Cage Casey and Coleman, they were okay, but they were pieces that like this team is set. They don't really need a whole lot because they're set, but these were pieces that they either lost or filled in pieces for the gaps that they're gonna actually need for the future. And I mean, it's hard. It's kind of hard to say because this is now the last. Let me remind you, this is the last COVID year. Okay, a lot of these players, you look at their age group and you're like, these guys are 24 and 25 years old. These guys are old, according to what we draft. But think about it. These are the kids that came in on 2020, and they couldn't play their first years. So a lot of them didn't play till 21 or even age of 20. Like they came in at 18-year-olds, like, sorry, kid, we're not playing because there's a virus and we don't know who's sick. And so it was to the point where they had to be redshirted the whole year. And then this messes up. This is probably going to mess up next year's draft a little bit because a lot of these previous draftees from next year probably wouldn't surprise me if they jumped 2 or 3 schools because of these guys. Because of the COVID.
They stayed longer, and then the transfer portal,
because he was already there, slotted for their position. never going to sniff the field. Well, I'm not going to be here. I got to go to a different school to go play. So this is and think about it. This is outside the box. All right, this is my thinking. Like, this is the last COVID year that we'll have to deal with. Now next year, I think we'll start seeing a lot of 23-year-olds and younger. And it just hit me because the Steelers are only averaged old because of Mason Rudolph and Rodgers. If you take those two out of the equation of that team, they are one of the. I don't think there's a single player that's over the age of 25 on that roster.
They have one guy at 26. It's funny you said that. They have one guy at 26, and everyone else is young,
except for Mason. They're two old ass QBs, and everybody else is young as shit. So it's like I said. I like what the Broncos did for day 3 because that's all they had to do with, and they still managed to have 6 picks. Are all these players probably gonna sniff the field anytime soon? No, but that team is set, and they did the best with the field for it. So I feel like
okay. I like your list. I like it. I'm gonna pretty much standard. I think the Raiders did unbelievable. Like literally everything they did was like check mark, check mark, check mark, check mark, check mark.
Yeah,
you know, I love Stooks. I talked about Stooks for my Bears. I wanted Stooks to be for my Bears there. I loved that they did that. So yeah, Mendoza, Stooks, Crawford. I thought he's a great edge out of Auburn. Trey out of the center from Texas A&M was ranked the number 2 center in all of the draft, and they grabbed him. So they didn't just get the quarterback; they got the center to go with the quarterback. You know, and I thought that was great. Like they just kept on hitting check mark, check mark, check mark, check mark. I think the Raiders are going to be a lot better. They're in that really tough division. They did phenomenal in this draft. They should really applaud themselves. That was great. My next team would definitely be the Cleveland Browns. I look at the Cleveland Browns. The trade back made this draft perfect for them. So they got their guy. They got Fano, right? They got Casey Concepcion. Then, because I didn't like the fact Concepcion, I feel like they need a bigger body receiver. You know what they turn around and do? Get Denzel Boston. So then they get the biggest receiver with the fastest 40 there too. So you get that, with it. Then you get Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, who was slotted as a early second round, late first round, early second round safety. They grabbed him in the 3rd.
Yeah.
So like that's an A+. Then they went Barber out of Florida, the offensive tackle, who has the better feet, the better 40, the more athletic tackle. They got him. So I mean, when you start looking at what they did in those first 3 rounds, they are just layering. The Browns, if they can figure out this QB position, and the fact that the Ravens no longer have their their coach, and then the fact that the Steelers are rebuilding too, and Cincinnati is crap, don't be surprised if the Cleveland Browns wins 10 games next year. I'm just saying.
No, that's
throwing it out there.
I think they'll win at least 1 or 2 more games from the previous year.
But Myles Garrett, and you start looking at them, they're going to be competitive in this division. I like it. I like what they've done. I'm all about it. My next team is going to be the Colts. Actually, I think the Colts did pretty good. I love CJ Allen. I think me and Mark, we were talking about him, linebacker out of Georgia. I thought the fact that they got him in the 2nd round, they traded back and grabbed a lot more picks because they only had like 4 picks. They got a lot more picks, trading back, getting him, getting AJ Halsey, who another guy that we talked about to help them this defense. I think it was Farmer, the guard out of Kentucky that everyone was talking about. We don't know about the competition, but he was just a steamroller. He was just destroying everyone who was in front of him. That was a great job. I think they got the linebacker out of Oregon, Bryce Boucher. I think is it. I'm looking for his name, but I think it's Bryce Boucher. That was a great pick. I think they did a lot of work on their actual defense and speed and playmaking, and that's what you need to do for that team. That team really needs to have a foundational place, and that's what I think they did. They put a foundation in. And now we'll see what they can really do next year. Because, man, Daniel Jones is good, and some of these receivers can play, and you already have a great running back. The sky's the limit.
Yeah. I think C.J. Allen's going to be a big IDP sleeper in many drafts, and a lot of people aren't going to be looking at him, but he could be a very big asset for IDP next year.
100%. So, my last team is definitely going to be watch the Commanders. I know Mark is not here, but I'm still going to talk about them because I think what they did, I don't think they had a lower grade than B for any of their picks. They didn't have a lot of them because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks. And all of them were good picks, you know. Sonny Styles is Brian Urlacher, right? Antonio Williams could have been a first-round talent. He just always didn't hurt. I think that's another good pick out of Clemson. He's at A+. You know, this is what you're doing. And then you go Joseph. That we were talking about the edge rusher out of Tennessee. What do you keep thinking about the edge rusher out of Tennessee? He kept on falling and kept on falling and kept on falling, and they got him in the 5th round. So they got a late second, early 3rd round talent in the 5th round. So I'm looking at Washington. I'm like, man, you guys are really starting to cook. They are really doing special things. I think Washington can turn around. This division is tough. It really is. And everyone there is going to be good, but it's always tough. And I think they did enough to bring them back into the conversation of, hey, all 4 of us are good. Let's see how who's going to be the best, who's going to be the worst. Because all those teams are good. All of them have talent. They all got quarterbacks. Now you just got to see what's going to happen. I like what Washington did. So that's my 4 teams. All right. Last one. Is there anyone that you think did a terrible job? Just one team. They just, what the fuck were you doing?
Did a terrible job.
Well, I don't want to take this team because I'm sure Brian wants to talk about them. So I'm going to take somebody else. I will take, God, that did horrible. Honestly, I do not like what the Cardinals did as a whole. I really don't. You know, like really? What's your formation going to be? You know, with like those 4 backs, are you just gonna have like 3 or 4 linemen on the line and then just a
outside
bunch
of the
backfield? You know, no. To me, the Cardinals in that division, that's so hard already. I don't think this draft was enough to push them to be any sort of playoff contender. I think the Jeremiah Love pick is a huge head scratcher. When you have a top 3 pick, you could have easily have traded back for something else that you needed and could have got a plethora of picks to get other players you needed. I don't think that they really moved the needle much to me personally. You know, I know someone's going to say the Jets because Jets are going to jet, but to me, the Cardinals I was not impressed. You know, that's just me.
Okay. All right, Barden, what you got?
Outside of that pick, I felt like they did okay. There was just depth pieces that they lost or needed. Like the Jeremiah Love, like I said, it threw everything off. You're right. They didn't need that. But
they have 5 running backs now. They literally got like Thanos saying, we're going to take them all.
They just wanted something shiny, new, and the best one there was. You know, it is. I don't think they've ever had a real good running back that high ever on that team. They've always had to get a washed up running back from another team every single time.
Okay. Who's your worst team? Well, I'll go mine real quick and then you can do yours last. Because it's not going to be the Chicago Bears. Because I have a whole show to talk about the Chicago Bears. And I'll do that on Tuesday, and I'll be yelling about that on Tuesday. But I don't know what the fuck the San Francisco 49ers are doing. I have no idea what their plan was. They went into the draft with no freaking plan. I'm looking like, so Design Stribling, I love Design Stribling as a 3rd round pick. Not the first round, the 33rd pick overall in the 2nd round. You reached for a full round and a half. I don't know what the hell you were talking about. He was a sleeper guy, and you made him be your first pick overall in the 2nd round.
Yeah.
What? I have no idea what they're doing with that. Romello hype. Yeah, it's okay pick. Good. You know, they need edge help. They need depth piece. That's fine. Kalen Black, I don't even think deserved to be picked in the 5th round. They running back out of Indiana. I don't think he was in the 5th round. I would have picked him. You picked him in the 3rd? He's a top 100 pick? All right. What? Like, what are you guys thinking? I don't understand. And then they went to get the defensive tackle out of Oklahoma, who was graded as a 6th round pick. Another one in the 3rd round. What are you doing? What are you guys looking at? I don't understand what we're looking for, guys. I thought San Francisco had an opportunity to make themselves better. I look at their picks and I'm like, bro, did you guys get worse? Like, what are we doing? You had a chance to fix. You didn't get not one offensive tackle. Oh no. Like,
which is crazy
because they did. Enrique Cruz at pick 179, they picked him, and even then that was a reach.
Yeah.
Your offensive tackle is 150 years old. Good.
Didn't they just sign him too?
Yep, to a 2-year extension. Yeah. But he's 150.
They can't let go of these old ways. Everybody there is old. It is probably the oldest team in the NFL right now. I don't even know what their average age is, but I'm pretty sure it's at least 27, 28 years old.
I look at the team, and as much as I question what the hell I did and question what Minnesota did, I look at San Francisco like y'all had no clue. Y'all just went out just doing stuff. Okay. For a team that's supposed to be that great. I have no idea.
So it's funny. Like they were kind of like what I was thinking of as well. But because they're so old, I think they were just drafting young positions behind them. But that's kind of how I felt about Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay got lucky with Bain. After they got Ruben Bain, it was like, all right, cool. He's still there. Go get him. I'm surprised he's still there. But everything after that was very questionable. I feel like
Josiah was a little bit of a reach because
Trotter was definitely a reach.
He's a 58, 59 guy.
But it was like you got Levante David, who's basically like it was just replacement, but it's not going to be anywhere as good as Levante David. Mm-hmm. And then Mike Evans gone, and they should have went a receiver way earlier. Instead, they went with Ted Hurst, who I don't think is anywhere. Like it didn't. They were trying to make up for positions they were losing, but with talent that was nowhere gonna cover up those shoes basically. Like, and then it felt really dumb and weird when they got like a defensive tackle later, and then the DB Keontae Scott. I don't know. It was just kind of like
they're just a little bit reaches. All of those picks are fine picks, but they just reach like about 15 to 20 slots early.
They could have done a little bit better. I'm like, all right, well, whatever, it pissed me off to just seeing it. But at the same time, like, I was okay with it. So, and that's just as a Falcons fan, I was okay with it. but outside of that, I really thought every single time they came up to the draft board, I questioned it. And when I start questioning the team multiple times, then I realize, okay, like something's going on that I don't think it's making sense. So I was just confused about how they ran, and they had all their picks basically except for the 7th, but they had like 2 and 5th.
Yeah, because they had 2 and 5th, so it didn't matter. Mm-hmm. Anthony says, "What are the chances Drew Alar is the number 1 starter week 1?"
I don't think so.
Pittsburgh. Mason Rudolph is going. You're not going to throw Drew Alar in first.
They're not going to put Rudolph under him. They trust Rudolph too much, and he's been there. He knows the system. He's been there. Yeah,
Well, it's a new coach.
I know, but there's no way.
Yeah.
Rudolph has years better in experience. He's probably better under pressure. I wouldn't put a rookie over someone who's been in the league that long. If Allen does start, was it week 1? Yeah, no, week 1, absolutely not. Week 8, maybe if Rudolph is just doing terrible, but no, absolutely
you're playing for the
week
future.
1, I will never put a rookie in week 1. Absolutely.
Yeah. I was like, Drew, what the hell? All right. We got Kadani says, honestly, I'm thinking my team might have been reaching on the draft picks, like the running back they took. I can see why they took it, but I don't know about the other ones, to be honest. But they do work on the players. Yeah, I told you what I thought about it. He says, exactly, Brian. But like I said, they're doing work behind the scenes. They are all doing all the work on the players. I don't know. They are thinking, but I got to pray that they don't get EMF injuries. Dude, I don't understand when you have your team in San Francisco, the biggest part of them is they get injuries. So you need to get the quality guys. You just pick the best available guy in every round because you're going to use them because someone's going to get hurt. You need an offensive tackle. You need to get a backup running back, but you really just need to get best available. So when you're a good team that's win all those games, get best available guy. That's just my opinion. All right. Okay. Alec has something he wanted to do. I thought this was really good. So I'm actually going to move him to the first spot, and then Martin and I will listen.
Feels great. All right. So, and you guys can play along too in the comments if you want, but I thought it'd be fun. I have 5 teams, and we're going to blindly rank them post-draft, post-free agency on where you guys would have them going from 0 to hero. Essentially, that means last year they didn't do really that great, but based off everything that's happened right now, could they potentially win their division or go as far as conference championship? What's the likelihood of that? That's the whole point of this being blind. You guys won't know. So the list could be pretty hilarious, or you guys might just get it dead right the whole way. So
me and Mark, we're going to be right the whole time. That's fine.
All right. I love the confidence. All right. So first team up on the docket. Number 1 means best and 5 means worst. Just to clarify for some people at home. For number 1, or for first team, the New York Jets. Where do you rank them? 1 to 5. Their opportunity to win the division and make it possibly to a championship game.
1 being the lowest?
1 being the highest. Best. The highest, yes.
I'm going 4.
Yeah. All right. Next team on the docket, the Miami Dolphins.
5.
Okay.
Yeah,
perfect.
They're
Okay. All right. The Detroit Lions.
1.
2.
Oh, okay. We got 2 and 1. Very nice. All right. The next team, the Cleveland Browns.
Oh my God.
2. I'm putting them 2.
So where do you got to put them, Martin?
It's that division, and that's why I wanted to leave it for them.
That's the thing. That the division is the Bengals are out. I don't think the Bengals are even competitive at all right now.
Pittsburgh doesn't have a quarterback.
What they do, but they don't. Like, we don't know if they do. Like, there's a pot. Like, if Rodgers is in there, then they have a quarterback. We're fine.
Yeah.
I'll put them at
because you have 3 and 1 left, I believe.
3 and 1.
Because when you put them in a slot, that slot's gone.
Yeah, that's the point of blind ranking them.
So either Cleveland's going to be number 1 or they're going to be number 3, and you have no idea who the last pick is.
I know, because the last one could be a really good team or it could be a really shitty team, and you're like, oh, okay.
I see what you mean. All right.
And that's why I'm going
to put them at 1 then.
Okay. Well, that is a good option. What's left for you, Brian?
Number 3.
Number 3. Well, you're both number 3. Well, good job, guys, because the last team that I had here was, of course, the Arizona Cardinals. Yeah. So you both would get them at 3. Good job.
I mean, I knew Martin and I were going to have very similar list. And the thing about Detroit Lions, they won the division before, and and every team in that division is good. So anyone, same thing that goes with when you go to AFC North. Every team in that division, if you told me this team won the division, I'd be like, yeah, probably. Exactly could happen. It could roll that way either way it goes. So I just feel like, I know Martin thinks a very similar way. So yeah, this is gonna be easy for us. We got this.
Well, very nice, very nice. Thanks, guys, for playing on. And I like that Anthony also played along too. Let's see, you put so 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 5th. I don't know what your last one would have been, but hey, that's okay.
Number 1.
That's number 1. Oh, well, of course, that makes sense. Then you had the Cardinals at number 1. Damn. Okay.
Yeah, I just didn't think the last one was going to be a top prospect one. Like,
exactly.
No, the Browns have if anything, the Browns are probably the top or the second best in that division. So there has to be a high choice.
Agreed.
Perfect.
Agreed. All right. Guys, we had a good show. It's been an hour and 20 minutes. Martin's been holding on all this time for us, so we're going to get the hell out of here. Appreciate you guys coming in. Thank you for the show. Thank you guys for your comments. It was hilarious. I enjoyed it. We'll talk about the Panda on the Panda and Grizzly show. You'll see me go ape shit on my team because I don't know what the hell they're doing. Unless somehow Monday and Tuesday they do some type of trade, which I don't expect until post June 1st. So with that being said, cannot wait for Tuesday. Wednesday, we'll do Dynasty Pylon. We'll talk about a lot of this draft and how it affects fantasy work. I think that's going to be a very important thing to kind of identify who your top picks will be. Can I give you some type of depth chart so when you're going through your draft, you know who you're looking for. So we're going to start working on those things. Until then, we're going to get out of here. We'll see you next week on Morning Spike. Peace, guys.
See you guys.